Hello everyone, welcome back to my series in Factorio in which I'm attempting to build my very first mega factory. My name is Azrael. Come along with me as we continue our adventure. Now, ever since I moved my advanced circuit production over to the new facility and doubled its output, uh, my plastic production is starting to run a little dry. You'll notice that the coal line that is feeding my chemical plants that are creating the plastic is starting to run dangerously low, and that's because my coal mine is on its last legs. I mean, it is coughing its last breath as we speak. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and set up a new coal mine. There's a nice plot. There's a couple of nice plots, actually. I'm going to take the one out to the west. Now, just to make sure that I'm not running into any trouble, I'm gearing up for a fight with the biters, just in case they happen to be out there. I crafted up some poison pills, get some power to that one laser turret that just never seemed to actually get any. And then I get all the way out here, and there's absolutely no resistance whatsoever. But I know it's not going to necessarily stay that way. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wall in this giant resource patch and put some turrets around there to defend me while I'm working. And of course I run out of wall segments. So I have to craft up a few more in my inventory. But we get that done. It looks pretty good. Now I'm going to place those turrets around. Since I don't have any actual power out here right now, I'm just going to use regular gun turrets. Just kind of haphazardly spacing them around just to get some coverage going there. Each one is within the range of the turrets around it, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And now the long, boring process of putting ammunition in all of these gun turrets. I know that people have said, though, oh, you can use mods to do all this, and I know that there are mods out there to do this sort of thing. But I've said many times in the past that I just enjoy the vanilla experience so much that I don't really feel mods to be quite necessary at the moment. Now, of course, that's going to inevitably change as time goes on, and I tend to get bored with the way that the vanilla game works. But until that happens, I don't really see much of a need to augment the game that I already enjoy. So here we are placing down these mining drills. Got to craft up a few more so I have an even number. 10 in each row, 5 per side. And I really shouldn't need the blue express belts for this because this is just not going to output a whole lot. And it's a good thing too because I don't have any express belts in my inventory except for maybe the handful down in my hotbar. Um, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use the fast belts for this. It's time to set up a rail station over here. Now this I didn't do any sort of planning out on this, so this is going to go through quite a few changes as we figure everything out. Right now I'm just sort of trying to figure out what kind of loading station I really need, since the plastic production is the only thing in my facility that actually uses coal right now. I really don't need a whole lot of it, so I'm not going to worry about trying to fill the train to maximum capacity with every pass. Instead, I'm just going to go ahead and load some in there so that it has some to go around. And eventually I'll have these upgraded to some stack inserters, but for right now I don't really need that kind of capacity. Right now I'm just trying to figure out how to get the train to turn around from the main track. And so that's going to take a little bit of playing around. I could just do it like this, like similar to what I have back in the old iron mine. Just have it come right off the line like this. But then I realized that the main branch of my rail, not only that, but I'm also out of rail at the moment, so I'm going to go get some more items. I need some stone, and turns out I need some iron. There happens to be a little bit of iron right there in that chest, enough for me to craft up quite a few rail segments. Get some more research going over here, and pick up some more express belts while I'm here. Now, it really hasn't had much of a chance to refill those express belts since my last go through. So we're going to need to leave that going. And look at this plastic line. It's just getting pathetic here. But it's not quite it's not quite dead. Anyway, so we're going to go over here and extend the main line over. And what I realize is that my main line kind of goes right through it. Now, originally I'm thinking maybe I should just cut it to the north. But then there's that other part of me that says, now we could just make it go right through the mine. And looking back on this in hindsight, that was just kind of a more complicated option than it needed to be, because it does mean removing this entire wall section, which I go ahead and do, because, you know, moving things slightly to the north would just have been too much work, apparently. So we're going to play around with the idea of just having the main line continue right through these walls, and then have this just connect right into that. And just kind of working out the spacing for all of that, realizing that everything is just right in the way. Got to take out those walls. And that works for that side, but if I ever needed to go out to the west for whatever reason, it's just not going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and do my original idea of just moving the main line a little bit farther north. And that actually ends up being much more preferable to the way that I was trying to set it up before. Because this way I can just take out these lines here and extend them a little farther north into a standardized T-junction. Yeah, get rid of all of those poorly placed lines. I don't even know what I was thinking there. Anyway, uh, yeah, in order to do this, though, I am also going to have to move the eastern wall here. Looks like there's already some biters over there attacking the southwest corner of this new mine. Getting all my rails lined up. I'm going to have it be a little tighter in here so that both directions can be contained within the mine walls. Oh, there goes another spitter. Take some fire. Yeah, that'll teach him. Okay. Go ahead and set up that T-junction. I'm so glad I have that blueprint there. It makes that such easy work. I need to craft up a few more chain signals to make it work, though. There it goes. And for a second there, I can't determine if some of these are still ghosted or not, but it turns out that they are all actually there. They are real. No haunted intersections for us. Anyway, take out some of these wall sections over here. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to form a new wall line along here, and it's just a little bit off. So I'm just trying to figure out how to encase this in there, and this seemed like an okay idea, but I'm not so sure that I really care for that. Let's repair that turret while we're at it. And I need some more gates. There we go. Now it's time to put down the turrets once again. Now I am rather low on my ammunition. I did not stock up on nearly enough of it. I picked up enough ammunition to do a confident turret creep, but did not pick up enough to actually secure the outpost. So that was my own fault. And I want to do a more centered turnaround down here. I'm going to lay down a roundabout and then just remove the extraneous directions off of there. But, you know, in all the work that it took to put this down and then take out the sides that I didn't need, I probably could have just figured out how to manually place it down in the same amount of time. So, you know, it live and learn kind of thing. And now that means we also have to move the south wall. I'm going to move it down just here just a little bit. This whole The only section of this wall that ends up not getting moved is the western side. Even there, I'm not 100% happy with the eastern wall there. It comes just too close to the turnaround. But I'm not going to worry about fixing that right now. I've taken way too long setting up this station as it is. I just need to get it connected back up to the main factory. But I can't just leave all these turrets with no ammunition in them, so I'm going to go ahead and finish that off first. Anyway, this does really tend to take up a lot of time. I wish there was a way to blueprint a gun turret with the amount of ammunition that I want it to have, and so my construction bots would just load them up automatically. Maybe that would be a nice thing to have. And I'm sure, once again, you're all screaming, just use the mod already. To which I say, no, stubbornly. Anyway, power everything up. I'm going to get this connected back over to the main grid using these the long power pylons. And that should do it. Now I'm just going to put down some lights, because it's always a problem of not being able to actually see what I'm doing. Okay, and all those mines are running. Everything is loading up. Alright, it looks like this side is more or less done for at least what I need it to be. Need to rename the stop Coal Mine 01. Technically the other coal mine was 01, but I never needed to set up a rail station over there. So it became Coal Mine 0, which is exactly what it is now, because there's pretty much no more coal coming out of it. So it's not even a coal mine anymore. It's just an empty plot of land with a few abandoned miners. Mining drills. Abandoned miners makes it sound like an old orphanage or something. Anyway, I'm going to put in a T-junction here because I've decided that I don't want to have my plastic production done over here in the old, or over here in the oil processing area. I'm actually going to have plastic produced on site in the circuit production area. First, I'm just picking up a few miscellaneous items, getting myself some more rails crafted up, because I'm going to be moving that coal drop-off over here, and I'm just kind of working out exactly how I want this line to come in. It's going to come in right through here, at least ideally. That does mean that I'll have to move some of these around, though. I'm going to go ahead and put them down here so that they're between the plate buses. It's just a little more convenient place for them to be. That way they're not quite in the way. And it is something I wanted to do here, is just move this iron plate line over by one tile, because it's always nice to have the two tile space between your main buses. That way you can run splitters or pipes along there if need be. And need will be, because I'll need to be piping petroleum gas up here in order to do the plastic production on site. So it's time to get rid of this old line that I put in just last episode. I realize that this really does go through a lot of iterations. I'm already thinking in my mind that this entire bus over here is going to need to be redone, because I don't like having things branching off of both sides, because that has limited me in the size of the bus. As it is, I'd like to have processing units running along that bus, but there's no room to put down the the conveyor belt. So that's something I'll have to think about long and hard in the future, because that will require a ton of work. But that's for another day. Right now, I'm clearing up the remains of what was once my glorious coal mine. It looked like there was some behind that tree, but actually it was just a plant behind the tree sprite, making it look like it. So, oh well. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and bring the petroleum gas down here between the plate buses, because it is going to need to filter over into my circuit production area. So just stringing that along. Right here, I am going to have to put some of this copper into an underground belt, but that's no big deal. That's one of the main reasons we do this anyway. And I realize it's not going to have to go that far north, at least not at the moment. So I'm just going to have it stop right there. But I don't exactly know where I need to set up the chemical plants yet because I don't have the rail lines. And as we've learned in the past, rail lines take a little bit of a precedence when it comes to placing them down because of the awkward way that they can only occupy groupings of 2 tiles in a very specific manner. You remember a few episodes back, I had to move my entire solar grid up by 1 tile in order to accommodate the roundabout in the middle. That because the rail lines, you can't place them on a 1 tile basis. They have to be 2 tiles up or 2 tiles down, or what? I'm not sure if that even makes sense. I'm just going to stop talking about that right now. Okay, over here, forming up the preliminary coal drop-off station. Put down some inserters to take the coal out of the cars. And I've got an idea for how I want to do this, and it does require them to be spaced 1 tile apart like this, so that they can perfectly balance onto the belt. And then they'll balance into one belt, and I'll bring that belt over here to where the chemical plants are going to be. And that's going to have to double up with the petroleum gas line. It's going to go right in there. Fortunately, it all works out to where they are right next to each other. I didn't even have to finagle those around. That's probably a first in this series. And now it's just a matter of how I want to arrange the chemical plants themselves. That should be alright, and then I can bring the coal over here and insert it right there. And then that is a design that can be repeated to the right as needed, because 2 chemical plants really don't produce a whole lot of plastic. It's certainly enough for what I need right now, but in the future, I do want to expand this production as much as possible. Otherwise, I just couldn't call myself a mega factory builder. I mean, as it is, this factory is nowhere near mega factory status, but that's okay. That's because we're just kind of figuring everything out as we go. Right now, we're still focusing on science production and not something like rocket production. That's really where the mega factory is going to really come into play, is trying to figure out how quickly we can build rockets and launch them. I hear a lot of people talking about it's not a mega factory unless you can launch a rocket every 5 minutes, and some people say, oh, a rocket every 1 minute, maybe a rocket every second. That would be immense. I don't know. There's really no standardized definition of what makes a factory a mega factory, but I am going to probably shoot for an initial target of 1 rocket every 5 minutes, and then see if we can improve it from there. So it's going to take several more episodes to get that all up into production, especially since I take so darn long building everything. Here it is. It's been like 20 minutes, almost the end of what a normal episode, and I've barely even gotten this up and running yet. Technically I don't have it up and running yet. We are going to go a little overtime today, but in the meantime, it's just primarily getting everything up and running and then improve it upon that. And right now we don't quite have everything up and running yet. I still have modules to do. I still need robot frames and so forth. And for right now, I'm moving this main track line in order to accommodate a T-junction on this side near the oil production. And I was trying to figure out how to get the rail planner to do this for me, but it was just not working out the way it needed to. So I'll just do this the old-fashioned way and take that thing down myself and put that line where it needed to be. And then bring in the other side and match that up. That should be much nicer. And now it's just a matter of getting rid of the old line here. And there we go. And then the same thing for the other line. And there goes that. Alright, it's time to put in some extra signals on this new line, just to make sure that everything plays nice with that intersection over there, as well as the intersection right here. I just need to connect everything up here. And I believe all the signals are in place there. Alright, I'm just going to put a few up here so that it plays nice with this station. I put a few chain signals up there. Whoops, yeah, I put the wrong kind of signal right there. I needed a regular rail signal on that end. Alright, now I'm just going to have to extend it over the bus on this side. It shouldn't be too difficult. It's basically the same thing that I did on the other side if you happen to be paying attention and not, listen to me rambling on. And it turns out that that works out just perfectly to go around that substation. I just gotta make it go through the trees. I realized I could just use the ghost laying method and have the construction bots clear them all out for me. But that takes an extra keystroke that I hadn't been thinking about at the time, so it all works out. It's totally fine. Alright. Put down a few of the defenses there that I had to pick up again. And then cross out into the wilderness. And then my construction bots lay down the missing chain signals over here that I completely forgot about. Alright, now it's time for another T-junction over here. There we go. Should have enough signals in my inventory this time. Alright, we are just about done. The rail is completely set up. Now we just need the train to actually pick up the coal and deliver it where it needs to go. Put some fuel in there, make the colors look all cool. I want this to be kind of a dark gray so that it looks like coal. That just means making all the values the same. And now it's time to set up all the conditions. I want it to go to the drop and empty its inventory or wait until nothing's happening. And then go to the mine, wait till it's full, or nothing's happening, or 60 seconds have passed, whatever happens to come first. And there it goes, it's meeting up there. Since it doesn't have anything to drop off, it just takes off again. There it goes. Heading back over here, now it's filling up. And very slowly, mainly because I don't have the stack inserters over there yet. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. Put in a gate so that I can get in and out easily. I want to make absolutely sure that this is all working the way it needs to before I call the episode finished for today. I hop in the locomotive, it takes off, and it's going to take me back over here to the drop-off point. There we go, everything's moving smoothly. I watched that line drift over here to the chemical plants that are not set up to do anything yet. I completely forgot about that. Now they're making plastic, and once again, that is up and running. In the future, of course, I'm going to expand that to produce more than just that. But for right now, that is pretty much all it needs. I'm going to go ahead and call that the end, except that I realized that my science isn't done, so put a few more alien artifacts in there. And that is it. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Azrael. Never stop building.